You probably don't think twice when you toss a loaf of bread into your cart. It's just bread, right? But after 60, that simple choice can quietly decide whether your muscles get steady fuel and building blocks, or whether your blood sugar keeps spiking, inflammation creeps up, and your strength slowly fades. Some breads act like a daily investment in your muscles, and others quietly work against you. Picture this for a second. Two people in their 60s both eat sandwiches every day. One uses a fluffy white bread from the middle aisle, the other uses a dense, seedy, whole grain bread. Same meal idea, totally different impact on energy, blood sugar, and muscle health. That's how big this bread decision really is. If you found this helpful, share it with a senior you care about and subscribe for more daily senior health tips. Now, before you worry that you have to break up with bread forever, relax. You can absolutely keep bread in your life and still protect your muscles. You just need to know which kinds actually support you and which kinds quietly drain you. So let's walk through this in a simple, practical way, starting with the breads that really help your muscles stay strong after 60. The gold standard for muscle-friendly bread is sprouted grain bread. Brands like Ezekiel are good examples. Instead of grinding dry grains into flour right away, the grains are soaked and allowed to sprout a little. During that sprouting phase, enzymes wake up and start breaking down some of the starch and anti-nutrients. That means more minerals become available, the protein becomes easier to use, and digestion often feels smoother and less heavy. Here's why that matters for your muscles. A regular slice of basic whole wheat bread usually gives you around 3 or 4 grams of protein. A slice of sprouted grain bread often gives you 5 or 6. 2 slices can land you close to the protein you'd get from almost 2 eggs, especially when you top it with something like eggs, nut butter, cottage cheese, tuna, or hummus. On top of that, sprouted bread usually packs more fiber, which slows down how fast the carbs hit your bloodstream. Slower release means steadier energy, fewer sugar crashes, and a better environment for your muscles to repair and grow. If sprouted bread feels a little too healthy or dense at first, another great option is real whole grain sourdough. This isn't regular bread with sourdough flavor tossed in. True sourdough is slowly fermented with wild yeast and bacteria. That fermentation breaks down some of the gluten, lowers the impact on blood sugar, and makes minerals like iron, zinc, and magnesium easier for your body to absorb. So you're not just eating bread that tastes amazing with that gentle tang. You're also getting a loaf that's easier on your gut and friendlier to your muscles. For many people, especially those who feel bloated after regular bread, sourdough simply feels better. The chewy texture, crisp crust, and way it keeps you full longer make it a powerful base for muscle-supporting meals. Think scrambled eggs or omelets on sourdough toast, turkey or chicken sandwiches, or a hearty bowl of soup with a slice of toasted sourdough on the side. Then there's the dark, dense loaf a lot of people walk right past. Pumpernickel, especially when it's made with whole grain rye. This bread digests slowly, has one of the lowest blood sugar impacts of any bread, and is loaded with fiber. That slow burn gives your muscles a steady stream of fuel instead of a spike and crash. Rye also brings unique plant compounds that help calm inflammation, which is a big deal when you're trying to protect muscle and joint health as you age. Seeded whole grain breads are another secret weapon. When you see loaves packed with flax, chia, sunflower, pumpkin, or sesame seeds, that's not just fancy bread. Those seeds add extra protein, healthy fats, fiber, and minerals like magnesium, zinc, and iron. All of that matters for muscle contraction, recovery, and energy production. A good seeded bread can give you protein numbers similar to sprouted bread, plus extra calories from healthy fats, which can be very helpful if you struggle to eat enough overall. And finally, don't overlook breads made with real oats. Oats bring a mix of decent protein, gentle fiber, and special fibers that support heart health and smoother blood sugar. When oats are actually one of the main ingredients, not just sprinkled on the crust, you get a soft, slightly sweet bread that's easy to enjoy and still supports your muscles by giving you steady energy instead of a sugar roller coaster. So those are the stars. Now, let's talk about where things often go wrong. A lot of the breads that fill store shelves fight against almost every muscle-building goal you have after 60. The biggest offender is plain white bread made from refined flour. When the bran and germ are stripped away, you're left with a fast-burning starch that hits your bloodstream almost like sugar. very little protein, almost no fiber, and a huge spike in blood sugar followed by a crash. That crash doesn't just make you sleepy. It pushes your body to release more stress hormones like cortisol, which encourages your body to break down muscle tissue to free up energy. Over time, that kind of blood sugar roller coaster makes it harder to stay active, harder to maintain strength, and easier to gain fat around the middle. Add in the sugars, preservatives, and cheap oils that are often used in commercial white breads, and you've got a food that fills your stomach but doesn't really feed your muscles. There's another sneaky problem loaf, so-called wheat bread, that isn't truly whole wheat. If the label says wheat bread, but the first ingredient is enriched flour or just wheat flour instead of whole wheat flour, it's basically white bread in a brown disguise. The color often comes from caramel coloring or a bit of molasses, not from real whole grains. So you end up thinking you're making a smart choice while your blood sugar, your muscles, and your energy say otherwise. Then you've got breads that mix in just a little bit of whole grain, but still use mostly refined flour, or breads that sneak in several grams of added sugar per slice. That extra sugar stacks on top of the fast-digesting starch, which means bigger spikes, more inflammation, and more stress on your system. If you found this helpful, share it with a senior you care about, and subscribe for more daily senior health tips. Gluten-free bread can be another trap for people who don't actually need to avoid gluten. If you truly have celiac disease or a diagnosed gluten sensitivity, of course you need gluten-free options. But many gluten-free loaves are built from white rice flour, potato starch, or tapioca starch. Those ingredients digest quickly, don't bring much protein or fiber, and can spike blood sugar even more than regular wheat bread. There are better gluten-free breads made from things like brown rice, quinoa, millet, or buckwheat with added seeds or legumes. But you really have to read the label to find them. Here's the big picture. You probably eat bread most days. That means you have a built-in opportunity 2 or 3 times a day to either feed your muscles or drain them. 2 slices of low-quality white bread might give you 4 grams of protein and almost no fiber. 2 slices of sprouted, seeded, sourdough, rye, or oat-rich bread could give you 10 to 12 grams of protein plus a solid dose of fiber and minerals. Over a week, that difference adds up to dozens of extra grams of protein and far more stable energy without changing your entire diet. And you don't have to make it complicated. Think about building simple, muscle-friendly bread habits. Use sprouted or sourdough toast as the base for eggs and avocado in the morning. Make sandwiches on seeded or rye bread with tuna, chicken, turkey, hummus, or cottage cheese. Enjoy a slice of oat or sourdough bread on the side of a bean, lentil, or veggie soup at dinner. Each of those meals combines slower burning carbs, meaningful protein, and supportive fats in a way your muscles actually appreciate. If you're wondering where to start, your next grocery trip is the perfect time. Flip the package over. Look for words like sprouted whole grains, 100% whole wheat flour, whole grain rye, oats, and a short ingredient list you can recognize. Watch out for enriched flour, wheat flour without the word whole, and sugars listed near the top of the ingredient list. Small upgrades here change what your muscles get fed every single day. And remember, you don't have to be perfect or give up your favorite foods forever. If you've been eating basic white bread or wheat bread for years, just switching your main loaf to something sprouted, sourdough, seeded, rye, or oat-heavy is already a big win. Your body notices the difference in blood sugar, energy, and recovery long before you see it in the mirror. Pair that better bread with some simple strength exercises a few times a week, and you're giving your muscles exactly what they've been asking for. If you found this helpful, share it with a senior you care about, and subscribe for more daily senior health tips. And if you want more straight talk, science-based videos that break down everyday choices like this, hit that subscribe button and stick around. Your muscles, your energy, and your future self will thank you.